All right, we're just about to get started knocking on some doors, but before we do so, I want to talk about some key fundamentals that will help you be successful at the front door. Icebreakers, first and foremost. The invitation flyer we discussed earlier, the door hanger, you want to use that approach to break the ice, develop the curiosity with the homeowner with the proper uniform, the ID badge, lanyard, and the invitation. This will give us the professional appearance and the credibility of having done work in the area to develop a quick rapport with the homeowner. A couple things we want you to keep in mind. We don't like to ask, how are you, at the front door. We like to say good evening or good afternoon, good morning. These are still polite and courteous, however, they do not elicit any possible negative responses. When you ask a homeowner, how are you, oftentimes you can get busy, terrible, in a hurry. These are all negative responses that start our presentation off on the wrong foot, and we want to avoid that. So by asking good evening, good afternoon, or stating good morning, you eliminate the possibility of a negative response, and you're still giving a cordial greeting at the same time. Next, we don't like to state our personal name. We don't like to say, hi, my name is Tony, or I'm working for such and such company. That reeks of sales pitch and is the traditional approach of many, many companies. We want to differentiate ourselves. We want to let the uniform do the talking. We want to let the ID badge do the talking. So that has our name on it. We've got our company logo on our shirts as well as our ID badges. So they know what company we're with. They know what our name is. There's no reason for us to state the obvious. We want to build a rapport with the customer by respecting their time. We want to cut to the chase and get right into the presentation by inviting them to come down and take a look at some work we're doing that will also pique their curiosity and start our canvassing introduction off on the right foot. In the event you do not have an installation in that particular neighborhood or area, we recommend using a sorry about the noise or pardon our dust type of invitation as your initial engaging piece. Just want to apologize about the noise. We're going to be doing work in the neighborhood in the near future. If the homeowner asks, where are you going to be doing work? You simply say, we will be back around with invitations inviting you to the exact address once the work has been completed. In the meantime, we're giving free estimates to all the neighbors. With that in mind, are you typically around in an evening, or is a daytime better for you? So those are some great tips on the proper icebreakers for canvassing at the front door. Some other keys to success we like to discuss. We want to keep the intro very short and sweet. Don't get over wordy. Explain why you're there and ask for the appointment. Assume the appointment. Assume that everyone you're talking to has a need for one of your products or services. Don't ask open-ended questions. Assume the appointment. Use the address close like we talked about earlier. Point at the homeowner's address. Anytime you see any interest at all, say this is 3605 and begin to elicit their information in that fashion. Use alternative choice questions. Are evenings good or are daytimes better? Would Wednesday be good or would Thursday be better? These are great questions when closing for an appointment. You can use open-ended questions to find some facts out about the homeowner. How long have they owned the home? Have they ever had an estimate before? Who did the siding for them? Who did the windows for them? These are great questions to ask during your fact finding. However, when closing for the appointment, be sure to use alternative choice questions. Develop the skill of jonesing. Jonesing is a technique we refer to when stating to the consumer that you're going to be on the street anyway, giving estimates to a number of other neighbors and being specific. We're going to be down the street with the Manguses, giving them an estimate on the windows. I don't know if you know them. They're the ones with the Mustang in the driveway and the big German Shepherd. We're going to be over there tomorrow night. When we're done, can we stop by about 6 or would 7 be better? So do the jonesing effect, and that will also help in booking appointments. Utilize the chicken nod technique. The chicken nod, or the bobblehead nod technique, is also a great technique that you're going to see me use at the front door here shortly. Handle objections with questions. Anytime you're faced with an objection at the front door, I'm not interested, I can't afford it. We're going to want to ask questions at that point. Telling is not selling, as the great Tom Hopkins says. And so what we want to do when we get an objection is seek to understand before we wish to be understood. We're going to ask the homeowner, have they ever had an estimate before? I noticed you had new windows. Who did those for you? How long ago was it? Are you happy with the work? Any questions you can to start a conversation with the homeowner. Have you ever had an estimate on your roof before? Do you know how old your roof is? Have you ever had a quote on the gutters before? Do you know what kind of trees you have in the yard? What kind of debris you have in the gutters? Any questions you can ask. A lot of canvassers make the mistake when they are confronted with an objection of stating benefits and features and feature dumping on the homeowner, stating that they can save them money on their energy bills and that they have lifetime warranties. These things actually cause a little bit of conflict with the homeowner because they told you they're not interested and you're simply telling, not selling. Selling is asking questions and finding out how we could be a better fit for the homeowner. Master the address close. You're going to want to learn to master the address close. You'll see over and over again as we demonstrate in the field, when the homeowner gives any type of commitment whatsoever or shows any level of interest, it's immediately pouncing on the address and saying, great, this is 1234 and I'm still on Main and that street, and we roll right into the rule of 6 and elicit their information accordingly. And lastly, perfect that rule of 6 that we just discussed. Make sure that you get the 6 yeses out of the homeowner before you ask for the home phone, and you'll be sure to get that as often as needed. So without further ado, let's get out there and start knocking on doors and show you how it's done.